Hello, or Jumbo as they say here in Kenya. We are early this morning with a group of photographers and we are waiting to embark on a hot air balloon journey over Masai Mara National Reserve. So in this video I want to give you a few tips and tricks what to look out for when photographing from a hot air balloon. So let's get going and see you in a bit. Wow, we just finished our hot air balloon ride and it was absolutely amazing. So I want to just give you a little bit of a heads up what sort of gear to take on a hot air balloon ride. Preferably I found 2 camera bodies with 2 lenses works really well. You must just remember there's very little space in these baskets, so you're quite cramped in. So any big bulky lenses you want to probably leave behind, but generally anything a bit more wider angle, like let's say 16 to 35, although that's quite wide, but it can come in handy, especially in the beginning when the balloons are still on the ground and they are just inflating them with the burners going. Sometimes you have 2-3 balloons, very colorful balloons lying next to each other. So it is nice to have a wide angle and get these shots early morning. And then of course also a bit of a zoom, like a 70 to 200, 2.8 works great, 100 to 400 lens. I would say anything in the range between 70 to 400 is great because you do go up quite high, so a super wide angle on top is sometimes a bit too wide, and with these guys you can still get great landscape shots as well. Plus of course here in the Mara we are lucky and we do see animals. We had some lions today, which was great. We had zebras, we had wildebeest from the migration, so there was lots going on, and then you want to be able to zoom in a little bit closer. So these lenses come in handy. If you do take 2 camera bodies, just make sure that all lens hoods are properly tightened, lens caps, all these things that usually like to fly around somewhere, that you have them stuffed into pockets with zips preferably. So try and put on some clothing with lots of pockets. That really helps. You might even have your phone handy or a little GoPro or whatever, so you can just put it in there. And super important, the camera strap. So put it securely around you. You know, gravity likes to take stuff, so you don't want to lose your camera and lens over the edge. Make sure you have the camera strap on, or at least a wrist grip. If you have something like that, that works well. So I would always recommend having that with you. For the shooting settings, it is quite difficult to give you a standard setting. It's not really going to work because with a hot air balloon ride, you typically start very early in the morning when it's still dark. Then you have the beautiful sunrise, and then the light is properly out, the ambient light is then good. So the settings actually change the entire time. What I would suggest is that obviously once you take your first pictures as the balloons inflate in the beginning, and even when you go up, with a wide aperture, because you need the light intake. ISOs are typically high at that point. So just keep on checking your shutter speed, and remember whatever focal length you have on your lens, that you at least have a shutter speed equal to your focal length in the beginning when it's still dark. And then as you go up and the light increases, then try and double up the shutter speed from your focal length, so 70 to 200 on a full frame body, maybe about a 400 of a second, once the light gets a bit better. And then later on, when you start shooting animals that might be running underneath the balloons, obviously you need to compensate for their movement, plus the movement that the balloon makes itself. So once the light is good, even go up to something like a 2,000 of a second shutter speed. That is a very safe setting and freezes most of the motion. And the aperture, mostly because you shoot down, it is anywhere very flat. There's not much depth, So you can most of the time shoot wide open. I found that works well. If you shoot anything against a dark ground, like often we have the green grass, but we might have zebras which are very bright in contrast. So often I found underexposing works really well. But of course it depends a little bit on the ambient light. Today we have a bit of overcast, then zero exposure works fine as well. And of course also look out for opportunities. Often there's other balloons that are flying in front of you, in the back of your basket. The captain is very good in turning the basket, by the way, so you get also different light scenarios. Sometimes you shoot to the front with the sun behind you. Sometimes he turns the basket so you have a bit of side light, which gives generally a bit more depth to the image. Sometimes you get the opportunity to shoot into the light, so some silhouettes are possible as well with other balloons flying. If you have them with the full sun on, also underexposing works really well. So you can get some great landscape shots with these colorful hot air balloons. And going a little bit on the minus side on the exposure really brings out the balloons nicely. And last but not least, don't forget to also take in the scenery and enjoy without constantly looking through your viewfinder like we photographers like to do, because it is amazing up there and it's not always about just getting the images but also about the experience. So just now and then put the camera down, just enjoy, look around, look at the scenery. It is absolutely stunning. And if you ever do a hot air balloon trip, enjoy. I can just recommend the Masai Mara. Absolutely beautiful. See you next time.